on to our next series as the Thunder sweep the Pelicans. And Cousin James, we're gonna swing it to you first. Kind of want to get your thoughts on the series. Um, a lot of talk went into it. I was one of the people saying that we'll see a little bit of the experience from the Thunder. We saw that the Thunder obviously I think they're like the second youngest team in history to be the number one seed, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Um, but wanted to get your thoughts on the Thunder as an overall team, and can this Thunder team make it to the finals?
Yeah, so going into the series, I was thinking like Thunder, they are a little inexperienced as compared to like other teams that are in the playoffs. I thought that the Pelicans, although they didn't have Zion Williamson, thought that they would be able to be competitive in this series just based off of that fact that the Thunder are a little inexperienced. Um, so it definitely was surprising to me, at least, that they got swept 4-0 on the series. But the Thunder, they have all these different pieces that they throw at you, whether it's guys that just cracked the rotation this year, whether it's um, just guys off the bench.
Jay
They
Williams, like
yeah,
Howard Hayward and all them, Joe Wiggins. I'm already knowing.
yeah, they have a lot of guys with different skill sets that just play off each other, and they kind of remind me of they kind of remind me of the Pelicans a little bit. I know the Pelicans don't really have a Chet Holmgren type, but they have the Pelicans to me are another team that have a lot of players with different skill sets that kind of play off of each other. I think no Zion really benefited the Thunder for sure. Felt like the Thunder kind of were able to match their size a little bit more with Zion out the lineup, and the Thunder, as far as them going to like the Western Conference Finals, NBA Finals, um, I think that there's always a chance. They are young, and the remaining teams in the playoffs are going to have they're going to be out experienced for sure, no matter who else they play going forward. But I think if they get they would have either the Clippers, Mavs, if whoever wins that series. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
I
it'll be the
think
winner of the Clippers Mavs series.
yeah. So I think whoever they play in terms of that series, I think that it'll at least be competitive. I don't see them getting swept or anything like that. I think that they're going to stay competitive throughout these playoffs. As far as them going to the finals, I say it's unlikely, but there's always a shot for sure.
So Gary, once again, the Thunder they sweep the Pelicans. A lot of people kind of thought after Game One the series would be a little bit more competitive based on how close it was, and the Thunder were I think 8-9, like almost 9 point favorites in that Game One series, but ended up going down to the wire and kind of just over the rest of the series, the Thunder kind of handedly won each and every game. So wanted to get your thoughts on how good this Thunder team is and can they go deep, make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, Vaughn. Like we talked about last week, pretty much. I thought, like kind of James thought, that there was going to go be a long series just because the Thunder, like you mentioned, James, is pretty young. So them handling the Pels the way they did, and like you mentioned, James, the Zion being injured obviously was a big factor. That's about 20 to 25 points. Maybe he just because really Thunder don't have any big bodies to really stop him, so he would have had his way in the paint like per usual and all season long. So he maybe can get to 30. That's 30 points lost. Every game was about what 2, 3, except game 2. I think every game was pretty much close. Yep. Yeah. Actually, game 3 was kind of 106-85. So that I guess 2 of the 4 games of the sweep were blowouts. But 30 points from Zion and about 15 rebounds and him just this kick out from 3, him driving. I think that's obviously was a big impact. So Pellet, got to give credit where credit's due, man. Thunder have been basically quote unquote, even though they swept the Pelicans, swept on the rug all year. Like Vaughn mentioned, number 1 seed all year, knocking on the door. James mentioned all the guys they have that are interchangeable with SGA, Giddey, Dort, Williams. There's so many guys you got to mention. Both of the Williams, Hayward, obviously, with a couple minutes, Isaiah Joe. All these guys are basically making impact plays, and they all know their roles and are coming in with purpose. And I think that's the main thing with this team is really their engine is going because they kind of play. I'm not going to say they're Denver, but the way they're playing is like they're making where young teams usually mess up in the playoff, guys, and why they can't go far is because they don't maximize every single play. That's why it takes a couple years, for me to keep building those good habits that make every single possession matter. And the crazy thing about it is that this OKC team is playing that way already. They're making every possession matter. So that with them showing that, it shows that they don't have that many deficiencies, and what's really going to be able to stop them is really someone just playing slightly better than them or just outsmarting them. Because if you think about it, they got shooters, they got slashers, they're athletic, so they're going to play in a good enough defense. They've been playing on a string all year long on their defensive end. So you don't see too many weaknesses. The only thing everyone keeps poking at is that them being young. And, I was also one of those people saying that too. But them handling business the way they did with the 4-0 sweep, I think it's, it's a big respect to them. And you can tell by the league, man. You see SGA, you see Chet Holmgren with the little singing commercial they got now. SGA's in every other commercial too. Just like, you see the guys coming up. And, I just mentioned a little bit at the end of the Lakers series that, the new reign of, when we were all at 7th, 8th grade, middle school, probably high school with LeBron, Curry, Durant, all them prime timing. They're all on the other side of the hill, and, they last as long as they had, man. 15-plus years, we've never seen a crew like that type of generation last the way they last that long. And this new reign is coming up, and they're showing themselves right now. They obviously didn't beat a team that was, had so much playoff experience. I mean, Pelicans do have some playoff experience, but obviously with CJ McCollum being there and Ingram, they made it tough for both of those guys. It was the right matchup because of Zion not being there. It just laid perfectly for Thunder just to throw bodies at their scores, and you can see, man, 89 points this game, 92 points the first game. They haven't. Oh yeah, bro, they didn't crack 100 this whole series, brother. They didn't crack 100 this whole series. So really, the comes down to is that Thunder had 100 handled business, Vaughn, and yeah, they're gonna be something to reckon with next round. And whoever they play, it's looking like a collision course with the Nuggets. Looking like a collision course with the Nuggets, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this Thunder team is a lot better than all of us gave them credit for. I do think that they're a team that can definitely come out of the West. I don't want to just automatically stamp the Nuggets. I don't think their bench is as deep as it has to be. I don't think it had this. They were able to get away and win in 5 games against this Laker team, which really isn't that deep. When they start getting deeper to the playoffs and they see, a Thunder or a team like the Timberwolves, those teams are deep, and they have guys that can defend on the wing. And with the Thunder, there may be a mismatch against Chet Holmgren, but they play with a lot of pace. They can get up and down. They can win in different ways. Like Garry mentioned, this Thunder team only averaged about 90 points in this whole entire series and won pretty handedly almost every game. So they can win in different ways. So when it's just going to come down to, like a lot of people say, experience. We see that, I think it's going to come down to experience with the Thunder, them being a young and up and coming team. When they do have to go up against a team like the Nuggets. But at the same time, I feel like they're ready. It seems like they're ready to win now. And they're as young as they can be. As far as the Pelicans, I think it starts to kind of revisit the Zion situation. A lot of people are kind of speculating on what's next for the Pelicans. CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram didn't play as well as they should have during this entire series. There were rumblings about Zion maybe being able to come back. But, after that play-in 40 burger that he gave the LA Lakers, we saw that it was something that was going to hinder him later down the stretch. So I think with this Pelicans team, you start to look at, is it time to move on from Zion? I'm not saying that you should, but time and time again, we've seen that he isn't able to finish the season, whether that's the regular season going into the postseason. Now he's electric. We've seen that he can give you 40 in a play-in type setting or a playoff type atmosphere game. But his availability, the best ability is availability. He hasn't been available over the past couple of seasons. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Pelicans are going to do during this offseason and how they evolve this team going forward. Go ahead, Gary.
It didn't give me this time. Vaughn. Almost did. Almost got me. Real quick before we move on, I don't know if you're about to move on here. I'm pretty sure you are. But before you move on, I swear to God, my Kings would have done way better versus Thunder team, bro. Without Monk and Herter, bro. Straight up, bro. We would have got one game at home, bro. I promise you that.
I think Monk would have been able to play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he would have for sure probably would have played by this time.
We would have got at least one for sure.
Come on, Jay. Yeah, for sure. We would have got one, bro. Not a sweep, bro. Come on now.
Not a sweep for sure.
As James is
anyway, that's all
the
my
other honorary Kings fan, as
yes, sir.
I am not.
Oh, we 2-1 on you
the
today,
team
man.
that I root for is the